Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. In today's episode, I'll be showing you how you can create a slider inside of Wix. But not only that, I'll also show you how you can customize it, personalize it, and also how you can read the values from a slider and reflect it somewhere else on your screen, just like I'm doing now. If this is something that you're interested in, please make sure you do leave a like and continue watching this video until the end for some really cool tips and tricks. Let's get started. Welcome back, guys. Now the first thing that we need to do is obviously go ahead to this button over here, and we can hide the code for now. We can click over here on the search, and then let's type in slider. Now once we pick up on the slider that we want, so if I go ahead and click this, you can see that we've got multiple different options, and the one that I'm going to select is just the simple green one over here. I'll just add it like this, and let's extend it all the way like this and center it. Now I'll be using some code to make this achievable. So for you, if you want to also make sure that you're able to write some code, all you need to do is go to dev mode and then click on this button. For you, it should say turn on dev mode if you don't have it enabled. And once you turn it on, you will get access to some code at the bottom over here. Now straight away, let's actually see what this does without adding any code. So when I click on it, it says up to $10, up to $25, up to $50. So here the range is from 0 and it ranges all the way to 50, and we can see that when we hover over it, it shows us that up to $50 or up to that value on top right here. So without having to write any code, let's see what we can actually adjust. So if we click over here and click on settings, you can see that first of all we can add a title. So let's quickly add something. This is a title, just like that, and you can see that it got added over here. If I click on preview, you can see it says this is a title right there. Now let's go ahead and see what else we can do just from the settings. Now if we go down, we can choose for it to be a number of steps or a step value. For me, I usually choose step value, and right now as you're dragging this, every time you drag it, it goes up by 5. I will change this to 1 just so that we can understand a little bit better. At the same time, straight away you get the ability to add a minimum value and a maximum value, and then you also get to have a default selected value. So for example, if we run this right now, we will start at $10 and we can go back to 0, or we can reach 50. Let's go ahead and make the default value 0, and you can see that straight away it says up to 0. Now you might be wondering, well, how can I change the text over here that says up to $0? And to do that, you can click on the layer just like this. And first of all, we can see here that we've got some difference. So maybe I want my title to be over here. If we go down, here we can choose to make it like lines. And just for this tutorial, I'm going to make it like this so that we can actually see the difference or where we are. Position, bottom, middle, top. So you can actually set it up to be inside or at the top or the bottom. I'll just keep it as the bottom. The value label is that box over here that shows what the current value is. Currently it's set to on hover, so it will only show up when you hover over it. I'll keep it as always, and I also want it to be at the bottom, just like this. Now here you've got the prefix, so depending on where it shows, it will actually start putting it in. For example, if I remove this entirely and I preview this, you will see that it just goes 0 all the way to 50. Let's go back to the editor. If I go ahead and put a $sign, this will show at the beginning. So now as I'm moving it, it will show the number of dollars. If I go ahead and put it at the end, so let's say AUD, now it shows at the end. So prefix simply just means before the actual value. Suffix means after the value. So if I go ahead and preview this, you can see that the prefix and the suffix never change. The prefix will always be the $sign, the suffix will always be AUD, but the number inside or the value inside is what changes. So let's go ahead and click on the editor. and you can also choose for this to be just a line in the center. Now, what else can we do? Well, let's say you don't necessarily want the text to only be shown here. Let's say you want it to be somewhere else. Well, what we can do, just to test this, is we can add some text. Let's say we add it at the top. And just for visibility, let's make sure we change that into like some white text. Great. And now this is the point where it comes to actually writing code. We want to read the value from the slider and put it somewhere else. And this is actually very easy. All I need to do is simply let's go ahead here, and inside of my onReady function, I will simply say $w hashtag, and this is slider1. So I'll start typing slider1. Oops. Slider1. I'll say dot on change. I'll then open a bracket and open another bracket inside and type in event. I'll put equal sign, arrow, zigzaggy bracket. And inside of here, we can continue writing some code. First, let's get the value. So I'll simply say let slider value equal to, and again, we need to put the $w bracket hashtag slider1 dot value. So this now stores the value of this slider inside of slider value. After that, let's say we want to make any calculation. We can simply say let calculation equal to, let's say we want to time whatever comes here by 5. So we'll say 5 times slider value, for example. And I just wanted to show you that we can actually access this. And now all we need to do is simply again use the $, hashtag, and now I want to add this, whatever the value is, to this text. So I will say text1 dot text is equal to, first let's see if we make it equal to slider value like this. And again, it's obviously causing an issue, and that is because it's actually text. So here all we need to do is we can do something like this, string. Let's go ahead and run this and see if it will work or not. So as I'm dragging this through, you can see that it is actually reflecting exactly what the value is. So we're reading the exact value, and it's happening as we go. And we can also attach text here. So let's say calculation, and preview this. We can also make some work, pass this into a function, do anything we want, and then 50 times 5 to 50, and then make it showing straight away. This is it for this tutorial. Please make sure you do leave a like and a subscribe and a comment. Let me know if you need any further help with this or any other questions with Wix in general. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next episode.